In order to be a Christian, one has to ignore a lot of terrible things that their God does. In this case in particular, both Christians and Jews have to justify what God did. Possibly Muslims as well, but I do not know for certain if Muslims believe this story or not, so I will focus on Christians and Jews. I assume most people listening to this video have read the book of Exodus. It's a very interesting story. For those who don't know, Exodus is the story of the enslaved by Egypt Israelites escaping their captivity. According to the Bible, Israel was enslaved by Egypt at one point and was only made free after a man named Moses was led by God to confront the Pharaoh. Now, there is no evidence that Israel was ever enslaved by Egypt. There is no good reason to believe that this story is true, but for argument's sake, we are going to assume that it is for the sake of this video. If this story is true, God is evil. There is no other way to look at it. God is evil. Let me explain. In order to get the Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, God brought 10 plagues down on Egypt. Here is what the plagues are. 1. Waters were turned to blood. 2. Frogs invaded Egypt. 3. Lice covered Egypt. 4. Wild animals destroyed Egypt. 5. A fatal pestilence killed the livestock. 6. Egyptians developed boils. 7. Hail destroyed crops. 8. Locusts swallowed every crop. 9. Complete darkness covered Egypt. 10. All firstborn Egyptians were killed. Obviously, this is pretty terrible stuff that killed and brought pain to tons of people. Here is why this makes God evil. These punishments hurt all of the Egyptians. All of the Egyptians are not guilty. The Pharaoh is the only person in Egypt who has the power to let the Israelites go. The rest of the Egyptians have no control over what the Pharaoh does but is punished severely. Is that just? Is it reasonable to kill millions of innocents to punish one man? How could it be? The last point in particular is very telling on the morality of God. Think about it. God killed the firstborn of every Egyptian. This would be death in the millions. Did these kids have any control over what the Pharaoh did? Imagine if someone was mad at the leader of your country and in return killed the firstborn son in your family. Would you think that this was just? How could it be? God completely destroyed a country and an entire group of people because of the actions of one man. Also, God killed innocents. Imagine an Egyptian couple who just had their first baby boy. This baby has just entered the world. According to the Bible, God killed that baby because of something that baby had no control over. Is this really just? The baby was innocent and sinless. It is completely unreasonable to think that some of these first-born sons weren't newly born babies. It is unreasonable to think these first-born sons deserve death because of things they had no control over. How can anyone not think that God is evil after reading this? This is made even worse when you realize that God made Pharaoh not let the Israelites go. God hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he wouldn't. If God hadn't done that, all these innocent people would not have died. God hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he could kill them. This is evil. Would love to hear a Christian respond to this.